Today, it's a bit of history mixed with Aqidah. Subhanallah, the history of Islam, unless you are really exposed to a lot of knowledge, you probably mix things up or don't understand the importance of things. So I want to ask you a question. Why Allah Azza wa Jal interfere with our life? Why He get involved, interfere? Sarmad.
To make it easier.
To make it easier. Why can't we make it easier? Allah didn't say to us how they discovered the steam engine. We discovered, and the jet plane. And He created, obviously, the law, which we used to make our life easier. But why would He get involved? This is haram, this is halal, this is haram, this is halal. Why? Any other? Why would Allah intervene or interfere? These questions the atheist will ask you. Why you should bother? I'm free to do or not to do. I'm free to believe or not believe. We met a family and they said, no, we don't impose religion on our children. If they want to believe, they believe. If they want, they don't want, they don't want. We heard it from some Muslim background. We don't take them to Sunday school. It's up to them. But why would Allah intervene with our life without interfere? Are you trying to answer, or you're adjusting your scarf? There's a group of students who went to medical school. They want to become doctors. So the professor brought a bowl full of pus. You know the pus things you get from the infections? And he said, you need not to feel disgusted by what you see on your patients. So even you put your finger in the pus and you lick it. They're all shocked. He said, the second advice, you have to be observable. He put this finger, he licked this finger. He didn't lick that finger. So if you are observable, it's all written on the board. Yeah? The reasons Allah Azza wa Jal intervene with our life or interfere or get involved, not because He benefits, because He wants to teach us to protect our mind. So I said, don't drink alcohol, don't take drugs, don't self-harm, don't commit suicide. Protect your mind from the effect of alcohol and drugs and things. How would you harm yourself, mind, if you're trying to commit suicide? How could you harm your brain? I tell you a story, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. How?
Damages.
How? Some people try to commit suicide, but they do it wrong. And they end having brain damage or disability or something. And one of my patients tried to commit suicide by gassing himself in the garage. Somebody opened the garage door, rescued him, he called the ambulance. He remained alive, but he had brain damage, became demented. He can't even plan to kill himself anymore. Yeah. So Allah Azza wa Jal wants to protect our mind before we damage it, because many of the people here in Britain, 28% have a problem because of alcohol. 28%. Not like, a small number. So every 10 walking there, 3 of them have problem because of alcohol. What's the worst problem you get because of alcohol? Not physical. The first problem is marital problem. The second one?
Mental problems.
The third one, the physical, mental and liver and kidney and heart. The second one is work problem. They go late, they go with hangover, they have trouble working, they lose their temper, they have all sort of struggle at work, they're sacked. The third problem, social problem. They get involved in fights and arguments and family disputes and domestic violence, blah, blah. The fourth one is 25% they get physical. But the 50%, 54% get problem with the family dispute and argument and fight. And I have a patient who had a fight with his wife who was drunk. He kicked her out of the house in the rain in her 90. She went to the neighbor, she took a coat from them, went to her family in Scotland, and he felt guilty. He followed her. He found she didn't go to her family, she went to her ex-boyfriend. So he was more upset and he killed himself. So he killed himself. She felt too guilty and she tried to kill herself, and they brought her to me because she was suicidal. So family problems is the worst of the alcohol. This is why 30% have. Allah sent the religion to protect your life. So there's no fighting. You can't kill anybody. You shouldn't be killed by anybody. Allah protecting you from 8 billion people out there. Allah doesn't want you to kill yourself. So protecting your life. So Allah has protecting you from other people. And protecting other people from you. To keep your life. To remain alive. To have a chance to live in this life and go back to Jannah. The third reason is to give you money or take away money from you. Or protect your money. So he wouldn't allow people to steal from you. He wouldn't allow you to steal from people. But if you are sick and you're needy, you're poor, he will give you money. Where the money he will get from the rich to give the poor. And protect your money and either give you or take away from you. Both will protect you. If they don't collect zakah, what happens? Allah Azza wa Jal said, يا ناس الذين آمنوا ذروا ما بقي من الربا فإن لم تفعلوا فأذنوا بحرب من الله ورسوله. If you don't stop riba, Allah will fight you. How Allah will fight you if you don't stop taking riba? Now, the system in Britain or in Europe and America doesn't allow the fair distribution or redistribution of wealth. So some become very, very rich, some become very, very poor, and they start fighting each other. So they form gangs, they form drug gangs and stealing gangs and all sorts of, these who stole the jewelry from Louvre Museum in Paris. So they planned the theft. They are now stealing more through the internet, the cyber money. People who stole 30 billion, this guy stole from the cryptocurrencies, from the Bitcoin. 30 billion. So Islam came to stop you stealing other people's money, to stop other people stealing your money, stop the fraud, stop the cheating, stop this, stop that. So protecting your money, protecting your honor. Nobody is allowed to harass your sister, your mother. You're not allowed to harass other girls, and you're not allowed to have illegal relationship with a woman or a man. Allah Azza wa Jalla said in the Quran, قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّوا أَبْصَارَهُم وَيَحْفَظُوا فُرُوجَهُم. The first one, you have to lower your gaze. So you don't look, oh, you have beautiful eye. You are not allowed. Oh, you have this, you have that. Oh, I like your whatever. Islam stopped the look because the poet said, نظرة فابتسامة فسلام فكلام فموعد فلقاء. It starts with the look, followed by the smile, followed by the greeting, followed by the talk, followed by the date, followed by the meeting. So what you need to do to stop all this is guard your gaze. When I got married, before I got married, they said to my wife after we got married, oh, whenever we talk to your husband, he look at the floor. Because this is how you don't do, oh, hello, I like your sister, she's my wife, and I like you as well. So even her sister, I wouldn't look at her. So you don't know. I mean, you could be asked, I told you this story before, probably you heard it from me. And you heard it probably. I went to a hospital in Lincolnshire, and remember? And there were a nurse who were locked out her car. She forgot the key inside, so her car was one of those, you pull with your hand. So I had, hang on in my car for clothing, I took it and managed to open the car. So she was desperate to go to Hong Castle and it had to be there 4:00. So she found, oh, thank you very much, and came to hug me. And I pushed her. And she fell on the floor. And I was so embarrassed. But I'm not used to, oh, hello. Not allowed in Islam. The look is not allowed. So Allah Azza wa Jal brought Islam to protect your honor. If she doesn't care, oh, I'm thanking you, I do care. I don't want to hug you. I know my wife is not there, but Allah is there. So protect your honor and protect your freedom. Whether to believe in Allah Azza wa Jal, whether to believe in Iblis. There is satanic churches in Britain, you know? Yeah, you heard of it? There's people who worship the cow. They have shower under their, when they're passing their water. They leave the cow. Yeah, they worship the cows. It's up to them. I don't force them to leave worshipping the cow. I don't force them to become Muslim. But Islam came to stop religious oppression and establish religious freedom. When the Muslims came to Syria, they said, we didn't come to ask you to leave Christianity. We came to ask you to adhere to it. Because if you adhere to Christianity, what's Christianity ask from you? What are the 10 commandments? Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not worship anybody but Allah. There's 10 commandments, we respect them as well. Stick to them. Stop killing these Gaza people, stop killing, they're killing people everywhere. Stick to your Christianity, to your Judaism, don't kill. So Islam, Allah Azza wa Jal wants us to protect the freedom of people, their honor, their money, their life, and their mind. So when the Prophet ﷺ went through this and established the Islamic State in the Arabian Peninsula, everybody loved it, and they were happy to give him zakah. The government started becoming richer, and more people start entering Islam. When the Prophet ﷺ died, people were so shocked, they didn't believe he died. Even Umar ibn Khattab took his sword and he said, no, Muhammad didn't die. He went to meet his Lord like Moses did. Anyone who say he died, I'll chop his head off. Ali ibn Abi Talib couldn't stand, he sat on the floor. Uthman ibn Affan couldn't talk. And so many Sahaba, until Abu Bakr Assidiq came from work and he was told that Muhammad died. So he went to his room and he kissed him from the forehead and he said, you're rested now, there's no harm for you, there's no tiredness anymore, and you've done well and you are this and this, praise the Prophet. And he went outside and he said, whoever was worshipping Allah, whoever was worshipping Muhammad, Muhammad has died. And whoever was worshipping Allah, Allah is living, never dies. And then he read the ayah from the Quran, وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ الرُّسُلُ أَفَإِنْ مَاتَ أَوْ قُتِلَ انقلبتم على أعقابكم وَمَنْ ينقلب على عقبيه فلن يضر الله شيئا. So Muhammad is not more than a messenger, and the messenger died before him. If he dies or get killed, you leave Islam. If you leave Islam, you harm yourself, because Islam came to protect you. Protect your brain, protect your life, protect your money, protect your family, protect your freedom. So it's your loss. So everybody was, some of them said, as if we never heard the ayah from the Quran. It is in the Quran. So they were faced with three things after that. Where to bury Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Who should be leading the Muslims after that? And face the fact that yes, he died. They solved the fact that he died, accepted. Next one was to elect a leader and then to tell what to do. So they went to the house of Abi Sa'ida, the Ansari, the people of Medina, where thought, we are in Medina, we are the center of the Muslim state, and we will elect a leader. So Umar ibn Khattab and Abu Bakr went to the house and they said, look, when you became Muslims, the Prophet ﷺ said you will be rewarded in Jannah. He didn't say you become leaders. And if you become leaders, then the Arab might not accept you, then there will be fight. So better the leader be elected from the major city, which is Mecca, and from Qurayshi. And then he proposed Umar ibn Khattab. He said, Umar ibn Khattab, I will propose him to be the leader. Umar ibn Khattab said, no way, I won't be a leader and you are there. I propose you to be a leader, and everybody accepted, and they elected Abu Bakr Assidiq to be a leader. So Abu Bakr Assidiq became the first Khalifa of Rasulullah, the Khalifata Rasulullah, and obviously faced by so many problems, because when Islam became powerful, the Roman became very annoyed by power there, and the Persian were in it. So they led a war at the beginning, and they tried to fight the Muslims. The Muslims went 3,000 of them to Mu'tah, and they faced 200,000 of the Roman. So Ja'far ibn Abi Talib, Zayd ibn Haritha was the leader of the army. So they stayed in Mu'tah city and start fighting, street fight. And then Zayd ibn Haritha was killed. The Prophet ﷺ said to them, if Zayd killed, then Ja'far ibn Abi Talib become the leader. If he is killed, then Abdullah ibn Rawaha become the leader. If he is killed, then you elect your own leader. So Zayd was killed, Ja'far was killed, Abdullah ibn Rawaha was killed, and they elected Khalid ibn al-Walid. So Khalid ibn al-Walid looked into, I can't face 200,000, so 3,000 of us. So he pulled the army back, and that's a long story, I'm not saying it today. And he managed to save the 3,000. They lost only 7 people. Took them back to Medina. Roman came again when the Prophet ﷺ was in the last year of life. So the Prophet took 70,000, ﷺ, went to fight the Roman. So he waited in Tabuk for 19 days. The Roman didn't show. They were so afraid, didn't show. And the Prophet ﷺ, they tried to come the third time, so he formed an army, and he put Zayd ibn Haritha as the leader. No, Zayd ibn Haritha is the father. Usama ibn Zayd, his son. He was 18 years old, he put him the leader, but he died, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the army was waiting to take order, go. So Abu Bakr had this to solve, should he send the army to fight the Roman or not? And secondly, he was faced with the Quran scattered everywhere. There's papers and some written on bones and things. So he collected the Quran. He appointed Zayd ibn Thabit to collect the Quran. And he collected the Quran in one volume. So that's one of the biggest job he did. And the third one, he had a lot of uprising. Now, people to stop paying zakah, they said, we're not paying zakah. We will pray, but we will not pay zakah. And another people say, oh, we have a prophet of our own now. He doesn't want us to pay zakah. And Musaylama appeared there, he's claimed that he's a prophet. And Al-Anasi appeared in Yemen that claimed to be a prophet. I'm a prophet like Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so you are not my leader. So he had 11 uprising in Arabian Peninsula, tried to cut the country into 11 pieces. Like here, if Britain, Nottingham want to be a country, Birmingham want to be a country on their own, and Newcastle want to be a country. So that's not on. But mainly they want to escape the responsibility of funding the country, because the country need money. To run a country, you need money because you will need an army, you will need schools, hospitals, you will need to fund the poor, the needy, the children, the sick, the disabled. There's a lot of cost. Where this cost will be covered by? Zakah. Now, we the Muslims, we have the system that zakah is collecting 2.5% of the wealth of the people, while the British, American, West system is obviously failing because they have the wrong methodology. And I told you before, probably some of you know, if you have a rich and you have 100 billion in 2024, in 2025 you made no new money at all, the taxman will take nothing. Because the system in Britain and America, pay as you earn. If you don't earn, you don't pay. In Islam, if you have 100 billion in 2024, you earn nothing in 2025, but you still have the 100 billion, you pay zakat 2.5 billion. So the government still take a lot of money from you. If you take like Elon Musk have 500 billion, even if he earn nothing at all, he will still pay zakah 12.5 billion. A lot of money. Islam was collecting the money. The government became too strong. People who are rich scattered around the Arabian Peninsula didn't want them to pay the money. So they start splitting from the country. Oh, you don't belong to us. We don't know. So Aub Bakr Assidiq, he sent 11 armies. And they managed to get rid of Musaylim al-Kadhab and al-Anasi, and all these uprising settled, became again a very strong country. But subhanAllah, Aub Bakr Assidiq died after 2 years. He was a merchant. He used to sell textile. He goes in the morning, he goes to villages and city and things, he said. When he became Khalifa, they came to ask him about something, he's not in the house. Where is he? His wife said, oh, he went working. What work? He's selling textile. Then it came to him and said, no, we need you to sit down, run the country. We can't run after you to find you, where are you? So they want to appoint his wage, and his wage was 3 meals a day, 2 dresses, one for the summer, one for the winter, and a horse to ride on, or a donkey. That's all his wage. When he died, Umar ibn Khattab became Khalifa, and the wage is 3 meals a day, and a servant, and a horse, and 1 dress for the winter, 1 dress for the summer. So how much these leaders now get paid? So, and he accepted to sit. Now after 2 years, subhanAllah, he died, but he nominated somebody to replace him. He nominated Umar ibn Khattab. And no other nomination, nobody else nominated anybody else. So Umar ibn Khattab became the Khalifa. So Umar ibn Khattab became Khalifa for 10 years. Then when he was stabbed while he was praying, he was dying, and he nominated 6 people. He nominated these 6, and he said, elect one of these 6. The committee should stay in the room and not come out until they elect. I don't know the similarity with the Pope, isn't it? They sit inside in the Vatican, and if you see the smoke, white smoke or something coming out, means there's a Pope elected. But anyway, these 6, they're supposed to meet and elect one of the 6 to be the leader. So Abdurrahman ibn Auf said, I don't want to be a leader. I said, okay, you become the head of the committee. And Ali ibn Abi Talib, Uthman ibn Affan, Abdurrahman ibn Auf, Sayyid ibn al-As, and Abu Ubaidah ibn Jarrah. So Sayyid ibn al-As wasn't there. He doesn't want to become a leader, and he was on a mission. And left between these 4. Abdurrahman ibn Auf said he remained the head of the committee. The 3rd guy said, don't want to be a leader. So it narrowed down to Ali ibn Abi Talib and Uthman ibn Affan. So Abdurrahman ibn Auf, he took these 2 names and he went to the general public, and he started asking every man, woman and child, would you like Ali ibn Abi Talib to be the Khalifa or Uthman? And after he made this voting, 70% of the voters said Uthman, and 30% said Ali ibn Abi Talib. So the committee announced the election of Uthman ibn Affan to be the Khalifa. So this is the first time in history of mankind that a leader was elected on his own merit, his own ability, and the election, the voting by the general public. Imagine, used to be the king, give it to his son, to his grandson, and so on and so forth. And if 2 sons want to become a king, he kills his brother sometime to become the king. So Islam brought the first time that you get elected according to your ability and vote. If like Abu Bakr, nobody else proposed, he was elected anonymously. So was Umar ibn Khattab. But when it came to the 3rd Khalifa, it was by 6 who were on the list on nomination list, narrowed down to 2, and then went out to the general public and they voted for Uthman ibn Affan to become Khalifa. Uthman ibn Affan became Khalifa for 12 years, and then he was killed by stabbing, and they came to elect a Khalifa, and it was only Ali nominated, ibn Abi Talib. So Ali ibn Abi Talib became the Khalifa, and he was Khalifa for 6 years. At the beginning, when he became Khalifa, the killers of Uthman, they ran away to Iraq. And his cousin Muawiyah ibn Abi Talib was the head of the army at that time, and he would not accept Ali as a Khalifa until he take revenge from the killer of his uncle. So he went to Iraq to chase these people, the killer, and bring them into punishment. Ali ibn Abi Talib became the Khalifa. He said, no, you cannot take the law into your hand. You have to come to me, and we will appoint the court, and the court and the judges will bring these people to the court, and whoever guilty will be punished. Muawiyah refused, and he took part of the army, went to Iraq. So Ali ibn Abi Talib went to Iraq to stop him taking the law into his own hands. And then some of the Sahaba in Mecca became very worried that there would be a fight between Ali and Muawiyah. So they went to be a buffer between the two. And on this group who were trying to be the buffer was Aisha radiallahu anha and Talha ibn Ubaidillah and Zubayr ibn al-Awwam. So quite famous Sahaba to stop the fight. In Iraq, things became more ugly because the killers of Uthman during the night came and they split into 2 pieces or 3 pieces. They start killing people in this camp and this camp and this camp. So every camp thinks the other camp is attacking them. So there were a fight between them, and then they realized that it wasn't us attacking you, it was these killers. But unfortunately, those who were siding with Ali ibn Abi Talib, they're called the Shia of Ali. Those who were siding with Muawiyah ibn Abi Talib, Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan, they were the Shia of Muawiyah. And there were those who were in the middle, the Shia of the buffer zone and things. The Shia of Muawiyah dissolved when Ali ibn Abi Talib became Khalifa. There's no Shia for Muawiyah. The Shia of Ali ibn Abi Talib should be dissolved when he was killed after 6 years, but they didn't. And because they were in Iraq and Iran and that area, they took advantage of that, called the name Shia, and they kept calling themselves Shia. But the Shia, we are the Shia, we support Ali, but we don't follow a separate education than the Sunnah. And that went from bad to worse, and they are still there. Why you are Shia? We support Ali, but Ali was killed and gone. Supporting the Khilafah gone. So the Khilafah gone and Ali gone, and they're still there. What for? Obviously, they have their own aim. So when you go to the 4 Khalifa, the main reason Islam came is to protect your mind, protect your life, protect your money, protect your honor, protect your freedom. And that loved by the countries around the Arabian Peninsula. So they start begging the Muslims to come and free us from our dictators, from our oppression. So Islam starts going from a country to a country to a country. Not only they are freed from oppression, not only they had the freedom of belief, not only are protecting their honor, but there were a lot of money. Islam come with a lot of money. Where the money will come from? The rich. You're taking 2.5% of the wealthy every year. What happened in Britain and America and Europe? When you go to take tax from the rich, they move to another country, they take less tax from them. Or they appoint all sorts of accountants to skip paying tax and things. So what the government is doing in Britain to get money?
Taxing you, people, general public.
Not enough. They can't tax the rich because they will take the money somewhere else. And the poor cannot give tax because they don't earn enough. They print money. They print extra money. When there's a lot of money printed, the value of the money drops. They say to you, oh, it's inflation, the price is going up. No, it's not the price is going up, it's the money, you're printing a lot of money. And the bank, if you want to go and buy a house, the bank will give you money. They haven't got the money, but they give you a check. You take that check to the seller of the house, he takes the check, puts it in another bank. There's no money, physical money given to you. In fact, if you want to buy a house, the maximum you can give in cash is 2,000. You can't go with a bag full of money, I want to buy the house. They will not accept. It has to, through the bank. If you want to go to a bank to bank money, when I want to pay for my house, I took £10,000 cash to HSBC. They refused to take it. Said, no, we don't take cash. Maximum they will take £2,000. If you want to take out of the bank £5,000, they will say, you have to give us notice, we'll give it to you in 2 days or 3 days. Because they manufacture the money, they print the money, or they have it only on paper. But Islam, they don't manufacture money. They take money from the rich and give it to everybody else. So this is why Islam spread very quickly. And this achievement, obviously, I need to talk more about Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman and Ali. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time to teach you, but it will come during the year, inshallah. But if you go out of here with this one historical fact, that Islam is the one who created something called democracy. You elect your leaders according to the best qualified and the vote of people. The best qualified was Uthman ibn Affan and Ali ibn Abi Talib. The vote of the people was to Uthman ibn Affan. That wasn't followed, unfortunately, by Muslims for many places, for many years. We need to take it back because this is Islamic idea. On your way out, I need to stamp number. What is it?